Hi, this is Beth Turner on The Huddle with Gaming America, and today I'm here with Robert J. Midyette, the Vice President of Food and Beverage at Live Casino Hotel in Maryland. Robert, how are you?
Good morning. How are you, Beth?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. Now, congratulations on the prime ribs win at the Wine Spectator 2024 Restaurant Awards. Could you tell me more about the awards and what criteria a restaurant has to meet in order to be recognized?
Yeah, sure. So the Wine Spectator Award is one of the most prestigious awards that recognizes restaurants for their wine list and how it impacts and affords the guest experience within their restaurant. So there's a lot of criteria that goes into it. I'll summarize a little bit for you. One, of course, is the breadth of your selection, meaning do you have a wine list that offers different regions, different countries, different appellations within those regions? What is the range of grape varietals, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, etc. Do you offer the guest a little bit of a chance to explore and try different regions of the world? As winemaking isn't hard, right? And you get to kind of sample what each country or appellation within that country thinks is represents their culture the best. So, French wine style is going to be different than a Napa wine style, as an example. So, they look for that kind of breadth of selection. And then, of course, vintages to some extent, what range of vintages you have. Then does it pair well with your food? Also, some economic diversity. You can always write a wine list that, of course, is super expensive and you pick the top 100 wines, but that doesn't really afford the guest necessarily a great experience because only most but economically savvy people could afford it. So, the wide range of things they look for, those are some of them actually, but it's really about the guest experience and which you offer.
Fantastic, fantastic. And when it came to making the prime rib and indeed any food and beverage option at a casino, what are some primary factors that need to be accounted for? And are there any factors that maybe people don't talk about much?
Yeah, sure. So obviously you have to know your own demographic, right? We're a regional casino, so our guests are frequent travelers, so to speak. So we see the same guest a couple times a week. And so we have to know what they like and what their taste profile is. But also we want to have a little bit of diversity to it so that we can appeal to those infrequent guests. Those are here for a conference. We have a big conference center here. We do a lot of meetings, a lot of banquets, etc. So that kind of diversity is important. Also has to match the cuisine of the restaurant. So we're a steakhouse, a prime rib. So obviously American cuisine, if you will, and then lends heavily towards the red wine category because of the natural pairing with meats. But we do offer some seafood selections as well, and we do a lot of private events on our refurbished patio. So the menu does vary quite a bit depending on what's going on. So you need to be able to match that. Be sure the guests can find a pairing that would go well with that food. That's our principal effort. And also, again, to mention the economic aspect of it, you kind of know the price point that's sensitive to our guests here.
Understood, understood. And a lot of casinos will offer fine dining experiences. Would you consider prime rib to be kind of more in the fine dining sort of end of the spectrum of things? Yes. So when you come to offering fine dining experiences to guests alongside other food and beverage options, how does the prime rib differentiate itself?
You have to many people take into account the typical items, the caliber of service, whether they bring you a hot towel after you eat some seafood or a crab leg or something like that, the pace of the service, the refinement of the dining room, tablecloths, flatware, that kind of thing. But there's also, kind of an unexpressed admiration that we try to give the guests. So oftentimes the guests will come and have an experience, and if they can take away something that they may never tell you about, they wouldn't write about it in a survey. It could be the shape of the butter. It could be the caliber of the butter. It could be some nominal little thing that they go, wow, that's really, really good. I've never had something like that before. They may not tell you about it because it's so insignificant, but we really try to pay attention to some details. I'll give you one example. So if a guest walks in and they say, we try to ask at the host stand, hey, are you celebrating something? Is your first time here? If they happen to go, yeah, it's my wife's birthday, or I just got a big promotion at work, or whatever. We have some pre-signed cards at the front that say, congratulations or happy birthday. The staff has all signed them. We have a little bit of confetti that say, congratulations. The host goes, give me just 1 second. Let me go check your table. And they'll sprinkle the confetti on the table, quickly put the card, and then walk the guest over to the table and go, oh, congratulations, enjoy your dinner. There's a nice celebratory moment there that's totally unexpected. So we try to do that as much as possible. Just give a little extra effort for the guest member to come here the next time.
Absolutely. Just adding those little things, the little details, just to stand things out from other experiences. Fantastic. And we've briefly touched on this, but when it comes to making these wine lists, everyone has different preferences for wine and also has different budgets when it comes to selecting a wine. How do you design a wine list that is going to fit the widest range of casino guests?
That's an awesome question. So I think the biggest thing we try to instill into the wine list beyond wine is the ability for a guest to make a decision with confidence. So we've designed the list. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but we have written the list in a very specific way. One, we added descriptions to each and every single wine. So that way you can read a little bit about what the flavor profile of the wine is. The second thing is we've added to the headers where it says like Pinot Noir. If you're not experienced wine consumer, you know you like Pinot Noir, you know you like Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc or whatever variety it is. But if you're new and you're just not that familiar with it, we've also added a little bit of a tasting profile. So we say soft and mild reds, Pinot Noir. So you can navigate the list by varietal if you know what you're doing or experience, or if you just know what you like to drink flavor-wise. You go, oh, I don't like strong, heavy reds. These are soft, mild reds. I'll look at this list. And then within that list, not only does each wine have a description that tells you what it tastes like, we've done it in a semi-progressive order. So the very top wine in Pinot Noirs will be the softest and mildest of that group. And then at the very bottom, will be the boldest, heaviest, and typically the driest. So the waiter, the server will know this and help you navigate. You know what, this seems like the right category, but I'm still kind of a light, fruity kind of person. So you go, well, I recommend the top three here. These are going to be the lightest, the fruitiest, help the bunch. So we've done those three things kind of help anybody choose with confidence. So they can, it's an investment, right? So you're going to spend upwards of $50 or more on a wine. No one wants to throw away $50 and not pick buy something you don't like, right? So we try to instill confidence. It's probably the number one thing we work to do.
Absolutely. And it sounds like you must do a lot of training with your team as well, with your servers, so that when your guests talk to them, explain, I like this, I don't like that, they're able to almost recall and know, here's what I suggest to you. That must take a lot of work and a lot of training to get right.
We do a lot of training with it, and the notes on the wine list that help the guest also help the server, because they need to only glance at the list that the guest is looking at, and they can recall some of the training and say, oh, I remember that I tasted that wine. I remember what it's like now. So he can help reinforce the guest choice or guide them toward a different choice if that's not quite matching what the guest has expressed as their profile.
And I can imagine those tasting days must be quite fun as well.
It's a very difficult part of my job.
It's tough out here, isn't it? What I'd love to know also in terms of the wine list is, how do you feel it reflects the live casino Maryland brand as a whole? How do you think it reflects on the casino?
Live, the brand in general stands for anything can happen here. It's exciting. There's lots of action and things going on. That doesn't just reflect the casino floor or entertainment profile that we've got across the property, or the multitude of F&B offerings that we've got from free-meal restaurants to fine dining and everything in between. It also represents, you can find some surprises on the wine list. We've worked really hard to add in some real gems in there that are a little bit unique, and you might be able to explore a little bit if you're a little bit savvy. We adopted a wine philosophy to kind of help guide us through this thing. So exploration, discovery, and enrichment. That's kind of the way life works, right? If you're willing to explore your life, things in life a little bit, you're going to discover something that's likely going to like, and then that's going to enrich your overall experience and give you one more thing within your library of experiences that you can reflect back on. So we try to write the wine list with that in mind as a guiding principle, and that's really kind of helped us pull in some things that we may not typically do, whether that's the super high-end stuff, wines from China, or even some local Maryland wines here that you may not be familiar with.
That's good. I like that you kind of keep things diverse. It's there. People assume that wines are just from parts of Western Europe, but in truth, wine is from everywhere. So it's great that you have that really wide range selection, as you said, gives people an opportunity to explore. Now, just to kind of changing the mood a little bit here slightly, but obviously the prime rib is in a casino. So one thing I'd love to kind of find out about is how do you go about safeguarding guests at the casino when alcohol is getting involved?
Yeah, sure. So all of our staff go through serve safe alcohol training. That's a requirement they have to go through on day 3 of their employment. So they've got 2 days of orientation with us as their first thing they have to do. They don't get to go on the floor. Then day 3, they go through serve safe training. They must pass that prior to doing anything else with us here. So we take that very, very seriously. And that's worked well for us. So we reinforce that on a daily basis. And then the staff are quite attuned to sort of guest behavior and monitoring their consumption where it's appropriate.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, just to round things out today, Robert, and I really do appreciate your time here, but what do you kind of hope to accomplish by the end of the year with Prime Rib and with Live Casino Maryland as a whole?
You know, we are the dining destination of choice in our immediate area, and I think we've been kind of a quiet giant in that area, and so we're looking to get the word out and attract maybe a larger guest base, not just to the casino, but principally to Prime Rib to have that experience. We're one of only 32 award winners in the state of Maryland, and we're one of only about 3,000 or so globally. So the fact that we got the recognition, we put the effort into the wine list, that's just really the tip of the iceberg to kind of indicate the caliber of the experience you can have at the Prime Rib.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Robert. I really do appreciate it. And my insight for wine has grown tremendously. I think it's going to have to be a glass after work today.
Please do. Please do. Research and development is very important.
I will. I'll have to let you know. I'll let you know which one it is. But thanks so much for your time today, Rob. And thank you to everyone that viewed us today.